Hi guys, welcome to the channel again. Just going to go through the renovation of the Hummingbird, so I hope you enjoy it. Sorry I've only got photos, I never took any videos of it. This is when I got it, and this is what she looks like today. So a friend of mine and I, we drove down to Bunbury to have a look at her and put a deposit down on her, and this is the day that we bought her. So we brought her back and cleaned her up so we could take her away for the weekend, and yeah, just to try it out and see what needed to be done to it and what repairs had to be made, where I wanted things, what didn't work, and quickly found out that we had to do some problem solving. So we had to look at the situation and work out what needed to be fixed. The electrical was in an absolute state. As the van's 20 years old, and you can imagine, yep, that's what the pipes look like. We had to repair those. So I took a moment and hopped up on the roof and had a look at see what sort of room I had. The place with the biggest problem was actually the kitchen setup. I had already decided that the fridge and the stovetop had to go. They were 20 years old and just either not practical or just filthy. The sink was tiny, so that had to go. So and I wanted to make a full-size fridge, so I had to redo the cabinetry. I also raised the height of the kitchen bench and made a new cupboard where the fridge used to be. I had already decided I wanted a gold sink, and I knew what colours I wanted, so I took Gemma with me because she's very good at choosing colours, and we went shopping for the day and had a bit of fun and chose all sorts of different bits and pieces. Everybody knows that I love ripping things apart, so I pulled everything off and took all the doors inside to be painted and get ready there. Then I stripped the plumbing and put all new plumbing in, so it was all nice and clean. The next was actually one of the bigger jobs, was the painting. So basically the motorhome is covered with like a vinyl wallpaper-ish stuff, so you can pre-prime that with a special priming paint and then paint over that. So it was a total of 4 coats, I think, and that was after I'd done all the carpentry to remake the cupboard and get that ready. So yeah, that took quite a few days, but it made such a difference. Obviously inside I was doing the same to the doors and everything, so they were ready to go back on, which you can see now. Getting it all ready, and there's the doors back on with their beautiful champagne bottle handles. This was one of the most difficult parts, the bench top, to cut that out. This is attempt number 2 at $100 for each bench top. You can imagine why I prayed first before I put it in. This is the stove, putting the stove in. I hated that it was silver going against, you know, like a gold sink. It just looks so wrong. So I ended up having to wrap the sink, and I sprayed it in heat-proof black paint. And as you'll see in the end product, it actually came up super well, and just looked much nicer on the bench with the gold up against it. Next was the flooring and the teak, so it came up really well. You can see much better photos of it later. I used it also as a splashback because there was a lot left over, but I've since removed that. So that's what it's come out with, the teak wood as well. Just adds texture, and it's only 7 kilos for all that teak. So I was so happy. People have asked what was the worst reno part to do, and it was the ceiling by far. I bought this beautiful gold metallic paint, and that's coat number 1, so you can imagine my distress thinking, oh no, but that was coat number 3. It was worth it. Unfortunately, I didn't use my brain and do the roof first before everything else, so everything had been renovated, so I had to basically Dexter the whole van up. It was all plastic wrapped, the entire thing, as you can see, and it was the middle of summer and it was hot. The thing with this paint is you cannot stop. You have to get the one coat on without any disruption to the sway of the brush. So yeah, it was torturous. It was absolutely, I think I was in tears on the third coat, but it was worth it. It really, I think it's really something special. One of the things I wanted to do was sort of like a rustic French provincial, and I wanted studded back cushions. So there's the studs that I made, and the base cushions redone, and then the next one was the back cushions. They come up really good. I was super happy. The ladder on this motorhome was a joke, so I remade a ladder that you can walk up without any hands. And before I put the curtains and everything in, I thought I'd best have something to eat. And watching them renovation shows, of course. So here's the pictures of all the curtains and all the palmlets when they went in. I was doing those at night when I wasn't working on the moho. So yeah, I was super happy. I think this was where it actually, all the textures and colours and styles came together, and it really worked very, very well. So you can see the effect of the gold roof. As I said, it was worth it, but I don't think I'd do it again for anybody. Right, this is where everything sort of totally came together with the extra cushions and bedding and what have you, and everything was in place. So this was just before I took her out, after the reno was partially finished. We're only talking about half of a reno here because there was a lot of electrical work, and just it's a whole nother video, all the installation of that and the solar and all the rest of it. So yeah, put the TV in the last day, and yeah, made sure that checked out, and the internet checked out, and Netflix checked out, and I was happy to go. The last thing to do now was to brand her, and that's where her name was put on. So you can see, gosh, she doesn't look like that now. But yeah, there she is, the Hummingbird. Thanks to Sharon who helped me put those on. They were a bit of a nightmare. So yeah, came up really, really well. As always, before I go on a trip, I have to have a sausage roll from 7-Eleven. So this is just some trip photos of one of the first things she did. We went to, my son and I went to Lancelin. Then I drove to Coral Bay. I think this is probably all out of order. But yeah, this is beautiful Coral Bay with some friends up there. After Coral Bay, we went to a farm stay somewhere. I can't remember the name of it. It was fun though. Yeah, and then went down into sort of Nannup way as well. So that's it for me. You get to see what it's finished to look like, so here you go. Coming up next on Vamped Van Chronicles, I'll take you up the turquoise coast to have a look at Durian Bay, Cervantes, and through the beautiful pinnacles. This is the beach that we slept at for 4 nights. I took my son with me on this trip, and wow, it's so beautiful. So tune in next Friday or Saturday, and that video should be up as well. Thanks for watching.